Pre-season matches are finally over. Before we start to have a look ahead at opening round, let's review the final matches from the weekend right now. Let's go. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Up the Guts podcast. Joining you as always is your host, Trenty Alton, or some of you might know me as Tricky. Now, as I said, we're doing the rest of the weekends. We already did an episode 206. We already did the matches from Wednesday night all the way up until Friday night? Yes, so Friday night. So today will be the Saturday games all the way to Sunday. So if you haven't already seen me review that one, make sure after this to go back and have a look at those ones. And while you're listening here now, guys, please make sure to leave a like and comment on this video as the algorithms are really liking likes. Hit that subscribe button while you're here. Turn the notification bell on as well. That's if you're watching on YouTube. Now, if you're listening via Spotify and Apple Podcasts, make sure to leave a like and comment on this episode. Hit that follow button. Turn the notification bell on so you're notified whenever we upload. And please, guys, I'll share this off to a mate who is really ready for the footy season to be back just this Thursday. Exciting times. And please, guys, remember, if you have been enjoying the show and want to help get behind the show, make sure you leave a 5-star rating, as that does help push the show out there to newer listeners. But without further ado, let's get into reviewing the final few matches. All right, let's start off with Saturday, St Kilda and Essendon at Mars Stadium in Ballarat. But before I started, shocking place to have it at Ballarat. I'm sick of seeing games at Ballarat. Thankful that's over, at least for a while. But the Saints won by 43 points. I thought the Bombers did really well. Just ran out of legs with the younger team they had out there. Obviously, less game experience. They played a lot of their new recruits or the younger players. Just ran out of legs towards the back end of the third quarter. That's where the Saints started getting on top. 17-13, 115 defeated Essendon's 10-12, 72. Wanganeen-Milera kicked forward. Did a short video on him on my Instagram. So make sure to go have it on our Instagram. Make sure to go have a look at that. Also on our YouTube channel in the shorts. So have a look at that. But we'll discuss more on him later. He kicked 4. Higgins kicked 3. Owens and Marshall playing as predominantly a forward while flexing a bit of time in the ruck, switching with Tom de Koning, also kicked 2. As for the Bombers, Archer May, Kyle Langford, and Peter Wright kicked 2 each. Winhager looked like they found a new role down at half-back, and it'll be interesting to see if he sticks with that going into opening round against the Saints, or will they play him on Dacos? So that's a bit of a watch, because he looked really nice down at half-back as well. 41 disposals, going at 80% efficiency, 9 marks, 8 intercepts, 9 rebound 50s, and 8 score involvement. So it'll be interesting to see, do they keep him at that half-back spot with Wanganeen-Milera now playing as a full-time mid, or do they put him over to Nick Dacos? That's a watch there for opening round. On the other halfback flank, wasn't very short of disposals either, was Jack Sinclair. He had 39 and 82% efficiency, 10 marks, 7 intercepts, and 852 metres gained, really getting that ball humming up towards their forward line. Philippou with a game. Is this finally the season Mateus Philippou shows us what he is made of? Has got his body right, played as a centre-bounce midfielder and looked excellent. All the promise that we have seen, all the talk, this is what we finally got to see. Now let's hope he can bring it into the regular season, because he looked dominant in the midfield. 29 disposals, 16 of them contested and 8 clearances. That big body midfielder who could also push forward and take a mark early and hit the scoreboard is a really exciting sight. I'm fingers crossed that the Pooh can keep his body right in 2026, because he is a dangerous prospect. Proposition to come up against, he can really put some damage on games. Wanganeen-Milera, 28 disposals, 4 goals, 10 inside 50s, 2 goal assists, 12 score volumes, and 805 metres gained. Now, Wanganeen-Milera, as I mentioned in the little video, when he needs a break, he's resting down at full forward. And when he comes out to score, he's looking like Gary Ablett. Comes out at that 187 centimetres in the wingspan and really just runs, directs, tells the ball where he wants it. And with the nice kicks they've got coming out of there now, they put it out into space and they let Wanganeen-Milera do the rest. Just sprinting out of the goal square and just taking it out in front. Absolute threat to see. Opposition are going to have absolute headaches, whether he's in the midfield or whether he's at full forward. It's going to be one that opposition are going to have to plan around. Like, no doubt they were going to plan to have someone on him when he's in the midfield, but now when he rests at full forward and we've seen what he can do playing at full forward, there's one thing about playing at full forward and resting there, but there's another there's another stance of being able to have that impact coming out of the square and attacking the ball. It generally looked like a Gary Ablett type of undersized, like key forward. It was a great to watch, and it's going to be an absolute headache for opposition to plan around. Plenty of planning will go into Wanganeen-Milera in the 2026 season. Probably won't have it easy as he had it in 2025, but then he'll just go, all right, I'll go to full forward, and then he'll go, good luck keeping up with me then. So it'll be one that they'll have to keep an eye on. Flanders, in his first real hit out for the Saints, proved everything that they got for him. 26 disposals, 81% efficiency, 7 score runs, playing that midfield role. Archie Roberts played a midfield role, played a little bit of halfback, but majority as a midfielder. I mentioned in my preview for the Bombers, I would have liked to see him stay at halfback just for another season. But again, he did look neat in the middle with 29 disposals. And I really like the game of Johnson. 24 disposals, 9 intercepts, and 7 score runs. Plays that halfback and wing role. So that's one to look out for there. But Nas at full forward is scary. And the Bombers, exciting sights. They just ran out of legs late in the game. So it's not one to drop their heads off at all for Brad Scott and his men. Saturday night, we had Fremantle and Adelaide at Rushton Park in Mandurah. I hope I say that right, Mandurah. I hope I'm saying it right. It was the Dockers by 16 points, 12-12, 84, defeated 9-4, 68. Big Josh Treacy could be set for a big year. I know it's probably an undermanned defence in the back line for the Crows, but he had a breakout year last year and threatened to have a bigger season, but I reckon he fell off later in the season. Kick 5, so a really good start. Jackson while he dominated, could have had an even bigger threat in the game. 1 goal, 3, but we're still dominant with 18 disposals, and I believe 18 disposals and 7 clearances, playing as a big body mid more than a ruck, with Mason Cox playing in there. And Mason Cox, don't shoot the messenger. I may be a Collingwood supporter, maybe a former Collingwood player, but I'm not being biased. I'm hearing he could be ahead of Sean Darcy in the rucking, in the ruck stock. He could be the number 1 going into it, purely because of this new rule, and his stats for hit-outs to advantage is one of the best in the competition. So all the talk coming out of Perth is he might be the way to go to kickstart the season. Sorry, guys, as I'm just looking here, kickstart the season for the Dockers will be interesting to see. What I'm looking at here is Josh Gablich, as we're recording right now, just posted that first round draftee for the Tigers, Sam Cumming, who's had some really, really good feedback talking about, has been ruled out for the first, as I just pull it up again, has been ruled out for at least the first month of the season. More assessment required after another shoulder injury on Friday. So thoughts go out to Sam Cumming. Hopefully he can get that shoulder right, because he does look like a good talent down there. As we move over to the Crows, Luke Pedlar could be one that could really bolster their attack in the forward 50 for the Crows. He kicked 3. But one player I want to talk about is don't anyone sit there and go, oh yeah, of course you rate him because he was a rising star winner last year. I was on the Murphy Reid bandwagon and the Murphy Reid train from the get-go. I loved him from round 1 when he kicked that 5 goals. Now he's gone into the midfield where he was drafted, and he's just done it again. 30 disposals and 7 clearances. I didn't know if they were going to pull the trigger and put him in the midfield straight away. I get it. It's only a preseason match. He might not play midfield, but I thought they might leave him down the forward line for 1 more year. But now we've seen it, and geez, doesn't he look just as good as he did forward? He's clean with the ball. He's tough. He gets it done on the inside. He can done it on the outside as well. That's one thing people wouldn't have thought. Would he be the one to get the clearances on the inside? But he's just clean. Quick in stoppage, clean hands and quick in stoppages to get their handball out to the running player. And he consistently makes the right decision when going inside 450 and with ball in hand. He's the best Reid in the West, and I have no doubt saying that right now. He is above Harley Reid. I get it, Harley Reid's talk, and sorry guys, I just turned the fan on here. Getting a bit warm here, but I know Harley Reid's stature. Is that a bit loud? I wonder. Hopefully it's not too loud for you guys there. I hope Harley Reid's potential is so high, but so is Murphy Reid's. And at the moment, Murphy Reid's doing it on a consistent level. And the sky's the limit for him. He's got that like Stevie J about him where he's got all the bags of tricks. We saw it last year when he played forward. The way he could pick out kicks and find an inside 50 target was absolutely phenomenal. He's the best Reid in the West. He's the next up-and-coming star. Keep your eye on Murphy Reid. I did have him as my lookout for as well, so just a cheeky little plug there. Hayden Young. It's good to see Hayden Young back and playing some footy. Fingers crossed he can keep his body right here because he is such an important player for the Dockers. 24 disposals, 8 clearances, and 6 tackles. Rory Laird led the way for the Crows. It was all defenders really for the Crows here. We've led 30 disposals, 9 intercepts. Josh Worrell, after his breakout season last year, 27 disposals, 8 intercepts, 11 rebound 50s, and 590 metres gained. He was the one I gave the keys to as well. And Wayne Milera also had 26 at 96% efficiency. The problem that consistently is going to be for the Crows is their midfield. Their midfield is so weak. They've got no pace. If it's not Rankin in there, they've got no speed coming out of the midfield. And other than Rankin and Dawson, and this might sound harsh on Dawson, I rate Dawson as a player, but he's your game-winning type of player. He gets your 20 touches. He's not your type of player that's going to get you 28, 30 consistently, like that type of player. They're missing that type of player because when Rankin's not there, and they would love to spend Dawson a bit more centre forward, but with the midfielders they've got at the moment, they can't have that luxury. Especially with Rankin out. They're missing something. I know Jake Saligo wasn't there, and I do rate Jake Saligo, but he hasn't put a full season together yet. Still young, I get it. They're saying Josh Treacy might be the answer. That's not going to be the answer for the short period of time because he's going to take a while to build his body back into it. He hasn't played a full midfield game yet. So that's going to have to be a wait. Who is it? James Cumming hasn't been the... James Cumming? Who am I thinking? James Peatling. Sorry, I'm putting James Peatling and Isaac Cumming together there. James Peatling is not going to be the answer. He has an all right game here and there. I don't want them to go back to putting Rory Laird in there. That would be disappointing if they do have to fall back to that. I know they were hoping Dan Curtin to be that man, but now he is injured. But even Dan Curtin only going into his second or third season, don't quote me there. It's one of them, but feel like he's the answer in just his second or third season is absolutely insane. But that's what's going to hurt the Crows, and that's why I'm not massive on the Crows this season. I know they finished on top of the ladder last year, but I don't even have them in the top 4 purely because I think their midfield's going to let them down. And throw on top of that, Riley Stilsdorf has got back soreness. Now, it might not be massive, but back soreness in such a tall person is not something that you want to hear. So I think it's troubling times there for the Crows. I don't know. I think it's their midfield's going to let them down. And if Riley Stilsthorpe's back problems become serious, he was their man that could go in and play as a second ruck or a big body midfielder with the new rules too. If Riley Stilsthorpe's not there, I think Taylor Walker's a bit past it now, especially being that number 1 ruck role. Darcy Fogarty's too inconsistent. So if the Stilsecker's not there, oh boy, already without Rankin there, probably their one and it's Rankin, Dawson, Stilthorpe, no particular order, are their best 3 players. So if 2 of them aren't there to start the season, geez, it's worrying times. But Freo have all the talent. I expect Freo to go far. Just got a question mark on the Crows. Now we head over to our 2 Sunday games in Isle. We're back at Ballarat, and it was North Melbourne v Collingwood at Mars Stadium, and it was the Kangaroos. Well done. Won a game by 1 point. But I think I heard a stat that Collingwood had a quarter of their team out there. So this is a game that they needed to win. They need to start this season off really well. They've actually got an okay fixture to start the season. So let me pull that one up for you guys. If I pull that up for you now, North Melbourne. So I think they said their first 5 is okay. So first 5, let's go. Round 1. Port Adelaide at Marvel Stadium. Now, I would have said, really good chance they would win. Jeez, Port Adelaide looked dangerous against the Eagles. We'll talk about that later. So that's a question mark. Then they have West Coast at West Coast. Another question mark, but that's the type of games they need to be winning. Then they have Essendon at Marvel. Another really tight game, but a winnable game. Carlton at Marvel. Winnable game. When I say winnable game, it's a game that they, with the talent and the list they've invested in, and to prove that they are going somewhere, they need to be winning. And then Brisbane Gavin Round. That's a bit harder. So there's 3 or 4 winning games in their first 5 games. They need to be making a statement now. And we saw some really good, bright young players. I'll talk about one of them in a second. 12-18-90 defeated 14-15. 89 the Pies. That player is their top draft pick, and Lockie Dobson. Lockie Dobson looks like a real find. I get it, only preseason again, but he's that Nick Watson type of role. Who did they compare him to? There was someone else. Who did they? Jack Higgins is they're saying they remind him of. He kicked 3, but what I really liked about him, he pies that forward pressure. So 3 goals, 14 disposals at 93% efficiency, and kicked and laid the 6 tackles. So I'm really liking Lockie Dobson. I expect him to be there round 1. Larkey also kicked 3. I do like Cooper Trembath as well. He kicked 2, and Darling also kicked the 2. McStay kicked 3. I'm big on Charlie West. I think he's really one to build around. He kicked 2. We saw he looked really good. He came in about the middle of last year, then went down with an injury. Jack Bullis showed some signs. It'll be a work in progress, but I think there's something building there. Not to be a standout player. Like Collingwood's never really had that man key forward. Like Mychek was a really good player, but he wasn't that demanding presence. He was the guy that you knew was just going to bust a pack and give you 100%. He was never that big key, if that kind of makes sense. He was just a guy who busted his ass off and did the job and did really well. I loved Barry Mychek. And I think that's what they're hoping Jack Buller can evolve into. Davies Uniacke looks good with 34, 8 clearances, 6 tackles, 7 inside 50s, 10 score moments, and 550 centimetres gained. We can never underestimate the talent that David LDU has, but he just can't put it together for consistent footy. And when the Kangaroos are getting smashed, his body language changes a bit, and he just refuses to run defensively. So I'd love to see LDU run a bit more defensively. And if these are the type of games he can put together to a full season, LDU is the type of player that you can see in an All-Australian team or at least an All-Australian squad. That's how good he is. But it just needs to be on a consistent level. Harry Sheasel, again, midfield time now, 33 disposals, 6 clearances, 8 inside 50s, and 582 metres gained. Simpkin had 28 and 10 marks, and Tom Powell also had 27, 85% efficiency, 8 marks, and 7 score bonds. Now, interesting enough, maybe this was because Collingwood had so many players out, but after training with the midfield for most of the preseason, Josh Jacobs lined up at halfback, and that was an interesting look. But I wonder if that was just because of the limited players that Collingwood had out there. They decided to rest all their main players and their older players and then play a lot of their rookies to see what they had. But Jacobs was a standout, 29, 665 metres gained. This meant Lipinski went in the middle as well, 27. Houston also looked a bit better, still a bit scratchy with ball in hand, 25 with 588 metres gained. We saw McCreary go in the middle. I really liked the look of him, a bit of toughness, but a burst away of speed from stoppages as well. But windy conditions did make it hard, and it was apparent when, I can't remember who had that shot on goal, but he kicked it, aimed for the out on the full point post, and it blew all the way to the other side of the ground. So you're just like, how can you win? But Kangaroos, this will give them a lot of confidence, but they need to back it up in the regular season now. So I hope this is not just a one-off. I hope these type of games, they can continue winning. And I hope it's not a downfall for Collingwood. I hope it was just because there were some key players, young players that I did like in there. I think Ed Allen has the capability of being a really good player. Just haven't seen it yet. I do like Rowan Steele. I think he's a smooth mover and uses the ball well. But other than that, I'd love to see a bit more Harry Dematia. I hope that's how I say his name. He's that type of breakaway speed, goal-kicking midfielder. So it'll be interesting to see how the Pies line up in 2026. Now we get over to the final game, and a disappointing West Coast Eagles. Went down by 73 points, 9-13, 67, defeated by 22-8, 140. Great job by the Pele Power kicking straight. But Andy McQualter came out and said this was their best available side, the West Coast Eagles. They've picked their best available side, right? Okay. You're telling me this was their best available side? Oh, we're in for another long season for the Eagles. Oh, no. Oh, this was their best available side. Oh, at this point, I can't even feel sorry for them because they've done it to themselves. But I really didn't want another year of that. Sorry, guys. There's just a another one coming. Oh, yeah, and to add on top of that, John Newcombe also got a one-match suspension for that dumb tackle that I did talk about in the last episode. AFL obviously making a stand saying they're not accepting any dangerous tackles. So I'm okay with that because if they make the stand early, it means they'll stick by it. But it could be another long year for the Eagles. Like, this was really, really a really hard watch. I did like Newton, though. He kicked 2. Did show some promising side, flying high over the ball. Waterman kicked 2. Obvious 2. Duff Tytler had moments that you're going, yeah, he could be a player. I do like, what's his first name? It's Lindsay. We'll just go with Lindsay. I do like Lindsay, though, off the halfback line. He had 22 disposals and kicked a goal. I do like the look of him. And McCarthy, but no one really gathered plenty of the ball for the West Coast Eagles. And Mitch Georgiades, I'm buying. If I didn't buy it already last year, because I know I was a big Mitch Georgiades fan, but right now I'm buying stock in Mitch Georgiades. Buying stock in him right now. Lock him in for a big season. 65 plus goals. I'm locking Mitch Georgiades in here. And potentially an All-Australian team debut. That is how good Mitch Georgiades is. If he can keep his body right, we will see games where he consistently kicks 6 goals. He's quick off the mark, he's good in the air, and he's got a beautiful technique for the shot. Rarely ever misses. He is ready for a big season. We saw it last year. We're going to see it again, but potentially even better. So I'm buying stock in Mitch Georgiades right now. He's mine. Get off him. Burn Jones also, so he kicked the 6 Georgiades. Burn Jones, Butters, Whitlock, and Horn Francis all kicked 2. Jeez, if Butters is hitting the scoreboard as a midfielder after only kicking 1 goal, I heard Kane Corn say on SCN today last year. If Butters adds 36 disposals, which he got, and 2 goals as a regular goal kicker, what's he paying for the Brownlow? Because I'm not saying I'm betting on him to win the Brownlow, but I'm saying those type of performances are 3 votes straight away. Like, no question about it at all. As we head over to the disposals, Robertson for the Eagles, obviously coming across from Brisbane. He had 28, playing as a more midfield role. Got stuck at half forward for the Lions, playing a more midfield role for the Eagles. But funnily enough, when I did their preview, he was listed as a forward, but he's had 28, 16 contested and 7 clearances. So I'm assuming he's midfield. Harley Reid at 22 and 5 tackles. And I mentioned Lindsay, while Ryan Marriage, again, just at halfback, 22, 7 rebound, 50s. It was the Butters and Rosie show yet again. 36 disposals of Butters, 2 goals. I put Butters and Rosie together there. 2 goals, 6 tackles, 2 goal assists, and 9 scorer moments. Just ruthless. Rosie, again, was also ruthless. We thought he'd play halfback. I wonder if he'll play halfback in... do they play opening round? Let's just one more check. Quick check. Port Adelaide opening round. No, but they play round 1. So I wonder if he'll play halfback round 1 or not. In the midfield, because he was damaging in the midfield too. 33 disposals, 6 clearances, 8 tackles, 9 inside 50s, 3 goal assists, 10 scorer runs, and 667 metres gained. Because there was talk about he's trained a lot with the halfback, but if he's putting performances like that up in the midfield, you may as well just leave him there. But you do have the luxury of putting him back at halfback when you need some drive off that halfback line. Will and Drew was sensational as well. 24 disposals, 15 of them contested. Kicked a goal, 7 tackles and 5 clearances. He's just a real in and under type. Will run with the opposition's best midfielders. Will get his hands dirty and get it out to the likes of Rosie on the outside. But if this was the best of the West Coast Eagles side that they had available, boy, we're in for a long year. Well, there you have it, guys. There are all the pre-season matches done. It is time to get into opening round this week. Thursday night, Sydney and Carlton will kick it off. We'll be back to preview and review all that. But for now, thank you guys for listening and watching along to this show. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to leave a like and comment on this episode. Remember, I said likes are really pushing the algorithm. YouTube are loving that for views, so make sure you leave a like on this. Let's aim for another 10 likes on this video. Hit that subscribe button and turn the notification bell on. If you're listening to this via Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure to leave a like and comment on this episode. Hit that follow button, turn the notification bell on, share this off to a mate. Cheers off to a mate who's really itching for the footy to be back as well. And please, guys, remember to leave a 5-star rating on the show. 5-star rating on the show, that does help push the show out there. And before I go, almost forgot before I go, I just wanted to make aware as well. We have still got room in the Up the Gut Supercoach and tipping competition. So Supercoach, you don't have to worry about getting in too quickly, but tipping will be filling up, and I will be closing that as of Wednesday, any new people that want to join. So if you want to join, I'll leave the links in the bottom, but send us a DM on Instagram, uptheguts_. That will be all in the just episode description as well. So if you need to get in contact with us, hit us there. I'll also leave our email if you have if you want to get in contact with us with any sponsorships, any content ideas, or just any queries in general. We'll leave all that in the bottom. But thank you guys for listening, and until next time, I'll see you guys then.